Hi, welcome to. I think this will be our final match of week 7. We're going to have 4 matches for this week. Someone had to DQ themselves because of scheduling conflicts. We have the MEN-etrics versus on players versus the maxers on opponents. Last week, the MEN-etrics was able to take down the Sock-Tuas despite a really rocky start. Turn 1 and 2 were like kind of disasters. Where like honestly, there was like Soul got red, where like Sock-Tuas got free screens up, and then was able to double the MEN-etric and knock it out. MEN-etric getting very little value, and was able to slowly climb their way back. Celestial is just like kind of just like impossible to KO for the Sock-Tuas, and the maxers are coming off a loss to the MEN-etrics brothers, the Go-Go Flower Rangers. I felt like it was definitely a very winnable game for them. It was like the final score I think was 4-0, but I think if they got one turn right, the combination of Cradley and Jellicent and Trick Room I think could have honestly swept or done a lot of work to put themselves in a winning position. But those like wrong those one turns where you get it slightly wrong can really be costly. Can really snowball really quickly. They're sitting at 2-4. MEN-etrics are sitting at, I think this is 5-1 when I'm recording this, if I'm getting the record still correct. They're still fighting for the 1 seed. This is like the last gasp effort for the maxers to make playoffs. They need to win this for any sort of chance. Mon said I think will be interesting. Mon said I want to take a more of a look at. I think Politoad's in a good spot here. There's definitely the Storm Drain they have to worry about, but just rain boosted like Scald can like mess with rain, obviously mess with Entei fire type attacks. Rain boosted Scalds would hit Mega Lucario really hard, and maybe even one-shot it if it's enough special attack, and then Lucario's frail enough because it's just that frail. And even if not, has a chance to burn and get someone close. Definitely one-shots Gligar. Azelf is also not bulky. Like it just like stressing Scald or Weather Ball can do a lot of work here. Also, the combination of the rain can make the there will only be one Mon that obviously threatens the Celesteela, the Thundurus. You know, the Entei would usually be really good against the Celesteela, but the Politoad can definitely mess with that. And speaking of Thundurus, I think the Thundurus is a can be maybe a very important Mon here. We have seen Deviant Thundurus before from against me actually from the maxers, with the 2 Intimidate users and the ability to threaten both the Politoad and the Celesteela. I think it could definitely be a pretty big threat. Is immune to Landorus's Earth Power, and Landorus doesn't really have an easy way to hit Thundurus. I mean, neither does Thundurus have a good way of hitting Landorus, so that's definitely just awkward. But yeah, I think it's a good time for Thundurus. But even if it's not defined, like just the ability, Prankster could always just be another good ability to just like, I don't know, taunt the Celesteela and like prevent that from setting up leech seeds and stuff like that. Yeah. For leads, I don't have any issue leading MEN-etric here. There is the potential Gligar switch on Gligar that is immune to it. But other than that, it's the fastest Mon. You do have to worry about like a priority spam, but these are both these Mons, both the priority spammers are like physical attackers that do get affected by Intimidate. So like maybe that with like, I don't know. I don't want to put Politoad in harm's way because I think it's so valuable. Like maybe you could send it in with the Politoad as well. Maybe you could send like Cresselia to like, and that has Ice Beam to help threaten the Gligar, something like that. And I want to keep the Thundurus in the back. I think it's really important. So maybe something like Maybe Azelf is not a bad lead. maybe like Azelf. I don't really have like an exact reasoning for that, but that's just like what my brain is telling me to do for some reason. So we're gonna stay with that. I think. So yeah, let's you know what? Let's get this match started. The Great Barrier Thief is an insane nickname. That is an awesome nickname. I love that. And isn't that crazy that that James isn't even involved in this match and he's still getting glazed? That's crazy. And wow, look at me calling, you know, if you ignore the other half of the field, the first half of the field, I called the lead out perfectly correctly with MEN-etrics. Yeah, this is a pretty good lead for the I'd argue for the what's it called? The Ormaxers. Cradley, these are both more. Gligar is technically a physical attacker, but it's kind of more just there to be like an annoying little guy that spreads statuses, maybe even hazards. Wait, you have to worry about potential Ice Beam from the Gligar, on the Gligar from the Cresselia. Yeah. I kind of just want to scout turn. Let me just see if any of them. Okay, we're not gonna. Oh yeah, there's no Intimidate. Yeah, you have to Mega Ball. I'd probably just scout here with the. Kind of want to just scout and like protect with the Gligar. Honestly, I honestly don't hate double protecting just to kind of see what the kind of the idea is behind these mons. I also don't hate the idea of like you have Leech Seed, Cresselia, protect Gligar just to see if there's potential Ice Beam pressure, because the MEN-etrics is in a pretty safe spot, I would think. You know, Ice is super effective, but like Cresselia doesn't hit that hard, and you're getting some health back, and I'm assuming this is some kind of recovery item. And the Cradle is just like the Gligar. The thing with the Gligar is that there's like no way you're getting an Earthquake on this MEN-etrics. It's just like something like it's such a bait. It's such an obvious bait. I don't know how to say it. Where it's just like it's gonna either Volt Switch, it's gonna do something, or you're gonna get Ice Beam for trying to do so. It's just, I don't think it's worth it. And yeah, that was an Ice Beam that that was foretold to me in a dream. And there goes your Gligar. Yeah. That even a potential Azelf, I just can't. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say there's no Toxatorb on this thing. It doesn't get Toxic Heal. So, you know, whatever. Okay. I will say, despite losing a Mon in turn 1, I do think you got some. I think you did get some 2 pretty meaningful things here. I do think Stealth Rock is pretty nice against this super slow, methodical switching style of gameplay. Against the what's it called? Against the MEN-etrics, and Toxic on Cresselia is also a really nice thing to have. Cresselia is just kind of impossible to kill. So like Cresselia is not that threatening on its own usually. So now it's like in a spot where you can like kind of start to ignore it for a little bit and just let it take out itself. Yeah. Now that the MEN-etrics, now that the MEN-etrics protected, now that is definitely open for a double attack. But what is the best thing to do against that? What is the best mon against that? Maybe it's Azelf, because there's also like the Intimidate stuff that like you can't really avoid. Yeah, you have so many physical attackers actually. So we're gonna have the Entei out. Entei can also with extreme speed maybe do something. Oh, okay. It sees we're seeing James glazing as a misinput. That's some good lore to have. Yeah. This is a good time. I want to start pulling this MEN-etrics slot. So what could potentially switch in? You can see Polytouch, definitely a possibility. I can't. Celesteela, definitely not. Landorus, maybe. Scrafty is also. I think Scrafty is probably the most likely switch in. And what is the best way to counter that? Maybe just like Leech Seed Flare Blitz the MEN-etrics slot. I don't think the Cradle is going to do that much damage. I think that's what it probably is. It's also a mon that just resists Stealth Rock, so every time you switch it into some, not much of a detriment. In this percent, and I think this is just like a good time to Mega Evolve, Volt Switch. I'm probably Volt Switching. I'm probably Volt Switching the Entei here. If the Entei protects, I'm perfectly fine without the Cradle. I'm not that scared of what the Cradle he can do right now. Definitely a Toxic again, but like that's that. But like, I don't think that's gonna happen. And you kind of just need the Entei to start putting out pressure. And this Cresselia could start I don't know, maybe start Ice Beam the Cradle, start wearing that down. But if the Cradle has to recover, it's just like kind of like, is this real progress or is this fake progress? Yeah, Bolt Switch. There's just okay, that's kind of risky. And that did nothing. Okay, well, bad news is the Toxic missed. The good news is that Toxic wouldn't have worked anyways. Yeah, I'm actually really quite surprised by the Celesteela switch in here. This is I know the Entei is at -1, so like it's still a Entei like potential Flare Blitz 120 base power stab super effectively, and Entei hits pretty hard. But that is a big risk to do on like such a potential important mon. This is felt like maybe the Scrafty was a bit safer of a play here, but it definitely majorly paid off here because we see Snarl Toxic. So this ended up being a perfect play, but not one I expected. This Cradle now feels like it's doing less than nothing here. It's not worth the slot that it's at. So I think it's a good time to try to get the Thundurus in, or unless you have Leech Seed, then you can like Leech Seed the Celesteela and start getting something productive going. And what does this Entei do? Flare Blitzing Celesteela doesn't seem bad. But I expect, I don't know, I feel like something's gonna happen if you do that. It's not gonna go well. I wouldn't hate it. Maybe he's just Snarl again. I think that's maybe a good mid ground. Mess up the Cresselia more, mess up the Celesteela a bit more. Celesteela does get Heavy Slam, so that could be better. So that's also something to take note here. If you do have Heavy Slam the Cradle, I think it's like good, and just like, I don't know what this Cresselia has. Start chipping something down. That Psychic did how much? 16? That's crazy. Are these mons just that like difference in like bulk and like I don't know the calcs. Oh my god, that's another nickname he forgot. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we ended up doubling the Landorus slot, which is actually, it's not like you didn't do like all the damage in the world, but this ended up working out pretty well. You got some mean. You did half to the Landorus. You decrease its special attack. The Celesteela's now potential opening for attacks. This was a pretty good turn here. I think the Thundurus is in about as safe as a position you can ever get in here. And I think it's a good time to send it in now into the Entei slot. It does good against Heavy Slam. It's Earth Power does nothing to it. Landorus doesn't have obvious coverage that's super effective, and neither does Celesteela. So I think it's about as free as it's a very free Thundurus in this Cradle. I don't know if he was just like, if there is no Heavy Slam, or maybe it's just because his team is not really weak to Heavy Slam. At least in the 6 months he brought, it's only Cradling. There's several resist mobs, the Lucario, the Entei. Yeah. So like, I don't know. This Cradily, I think it's a good time. I think you protect Cradily here. I think it's more, because I think either the Thunderous is getting a double attack and it's not going to do much, or like the Kratos are going to get target down and that is a threat. So I think it's a good time to protect the Cradily here. I'm getting the Azelf actually. Okay. Azelf is also immune to Earth Power, so definitely not a move I hate here. Azelf also has a potential. I do think Thunderous was a bit better here. Yeah, it's just more immediately threatening to the Celesteela. And since the Landorus is out, the only reasonable switch in is MEN-etrics. And yeah, it's a resisted hit. The MEN-etrics kind of not that strong, bulky. You're taking Stealth Rock damage every time. It's just like, and I don't know I don't know how this Thunderous is trained. I mean, this Thunderous is trained, but but maybe it's Defiant. Yeah, we're trading a Giga Drain for a Heavy Slam. Not a great trade, but not a terrible one either. Definitely makes it so that the next Giga Drain will KO. If Azelf somehow has a way to threaten the Celesteela beforehand, like maybe we can do something. Maybe you say it's a job well done for you can protect Cradily this turn and start putting more pressure on the Celesteela slot. Don't hate that, or even the Landorus slot, just to get this Earth Power stuff out of the way, because Earth Power is just kind of obnoxious. Dazzling Gleam, not a bad click here. I was thinking about they may have that move. Dazzling Gleam, I would think would be enough to KO Landorus, and just do a bit more chip to the Celesteela. Also covers potential Scrappy switches in, or something like that. Again, it's like, oh, I'm gonna bring the Dark type against the Psychic type. Yeah, it's a shame that you couldn't let. Maybe the Cradily doesn't have Protect, but the Cradily was like kind of close from like being able to live like another turn after another turn of Leftovers chip. So maybe having a way to get it safe somehow. Maybe it couldn't have been done, but it would have been really nice if you could have. Cradily is going to go down here. Don't think it's the worst thing in the world though. I think now is a good time to see. You can definitely, there's definitely some mons I'm okay bringing in here. Thunderous is one of them. Thunderous or Entei, you can convince me on either one of them. I think Thunderous is a bit better. I think. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Maybe not. Entei it is, because we got a special defense boost. Yep. All right. Dude, it sucks so much because we all know the rain's gonna happen. We all know it. We all know it. But just like, why? Like, despite the Entei like being like some of the only real play here, it's like we know it's not. It's so painful. I don't know. Do you literally just double into Thunderous here? Is that like literally your play here? Like, that really feels like what you have to do here is switch the Entei back out for Thunderous. Dazzling Gleam switch it out, and just like, yeah, it's still not in the Thunderous isn't about as good a spot. It's 2 mons weak to it. But dude, the Scald is still gonna hurt, and I'm guessing it's one of the Choice Scarf, which you have seen from customers. Just nothing. It just isn't great. It just feels so bad. Wow, the Politoad. Who could have seen this coming? I did. Okay, big crit. Will Dazzling Gleam be enough? No, it will not. But this ended up being a really good turn actually. You doubling the Politoad, and ended up working very well. Thanks. Definitely partly thanks to that critical hit. But next extreme speed kills the Politoad, and that's a really good thing to have. You don't have to deal with the rain after you go through these 5 turns. To be fair, you're starting to like run. You're down 2 mons. You have 2 mons KO'd already. Like 5 turns of range still sounds pretty bad. But yeah, this is a good time to extreme speed. The Azelf we've seen Dazzling Gleam only. Maybe what potential other moves it has, I'm not sure. But maybe it's a good time to get the Thunderous out here. And this Politoed, you could try to save it. You could like switch into the MEN-etrics here. I can definitely see that happen. On this MEN-etrics, still at full. It will be taking some. It'll be taking chip from the Stealth Rock and the Extreme Speed, but you're intimidating it down. And then the Celesteela can Celesteela probably just wants to like Leech Seed again, just get infinite health back, I would think. Okay, we are gonna let the Politoed go down. Don't hate that either. And the Thunderous is able to take the Heavy Slam. Not great, but good enough. Pretty alright. Definitely wish it would take it a little bit better. Because I'm afraid that like a Mega MEN-etrics like Thunderbolt has a decent chance of like maybe even KOing this if it's that frail and the MEN-etrics that strong. Speaking of MEN-etrics, I think it's a pretty good switch in here. Get the Intimidate down. Sure, it may proc Defiant, but like, I don't know. I don't care that much. We're gonna get Scratchy down instead. We'll learn about the ability now. It seems like we are not. Seems like it is not Defiant, so it's Prankster. It's gotta be worried about Thunder Wave. Let's see. The Entei being pressure instead of inner focus. Inner focus is not like it is in Gen 9. You're not immune to Intimidate, so it's not nearly as good. But that does mean you can get faked out, and there's, which is kind of trash. Like this, it's like Scratch can get faked out. Celesteela can start Leech Seeding again. Probably the I would probably say the Thunderous here, just mostly on the fact that it's the one that wants to switch out less, probably in this spot. So just make it more awkward. And you got to start applying pressure to Celesteela, man. Okay. Oh, that's a huge miss. That is a huge miss. It would, sure, it is in the rain, so it wouldn't have like one shot or anything. But still, that's a lot of damage you missed out on. 95% accurate move that has a 50% chance to burn when it connects. I actually got the turn really right here. Protected with the Thunderous, and when that mon got doubled and went for the Sacred Fire, that is a really rough break here. And that was definitely, if there was any turn for him to start clawing his way back in, it really might have been that. Now everything just feels terrible. Like now you can just get this slot doubled with like knock off Leech Seed or something like that, and there's not much you can have done about it. Ugh, terrible. Oh my gosh, 4%. Oh, we do get the flinch though. We do get the flinch. Just need like 7 more of those to really start getting back into it. At least you can protect. I don't know. Not really sure. Going for another one. Sacred Fire does connect. It only did 25%. Do we get the burn? Yes, we do. Does also decrease the power of Heavy Slam. Another flinch. Okay, we do get the Leech Seed though. Definitely some switching the luck back onto the side of the Oramaxers, but dude, there's just that Leech Seed, just like that Leech Seed feels like you're getting choked. Like it's just like painful, slow, inevitable. No matter what you do, it's just like I'd keep on attacking this Thunder slot, because every turn's on the field, you're getting health back. So it's protecting just gives you free health, so you don't mind that. If it switches, you're double attacking a slot for free. That's pretty good. And it stays on the field, you're getting health back. So like I think it's a pretty safe thing to do. At least the rain being gone is a pretty big deal actually. it does make the Entei a lot more scary. Maybe it's time to send into the Mega MEN-etric here, just to start actually increasing the damage output here. But I think it is a good time to do that. I want the Celestial in harm's way. No burn this time, but it's a special attacker, so not the biggest deal in the world. Yeah, this also works. Switching this in instead. Dude, I wouldn't hate Volt switching Entei into Scrafty, Leech Seeding. Just do it over and over again. Like make this Entei as weak as possible. The Volt Switch is going to do pretty good damage to Entei. Reset Fake Out pressure. Well, that sounds pretty good. I don't see a Dazzling Gleam coming out this turn. It's not a good spot to do it. But that's definitely that risk that you got to think of. I think you got to start getting this. Dude, you got to get this. Dude, this Entei is making me sad, man. Maybe you got to start getting this Thunderous back out. I think it's in a fairly safe spot now. Not a safe spot, about as good as it can be. Yep. Oh, we do get a crit on a flamethrower. That crit, going through the special defense increase. That's pretty big here. That's definitely the break he needed to start getting himself back into this game. And yeah, and Celesteela is down. Landorus is low and dies to extreme speed or in just any move. The Scrafty has to worry about Dazzling Gleam. And the Cresselia is toxic. You definitely are back in this now. You gotta play it methodically here. The Cresselia is just not in a good spot here. I mean, I don't know what spot it is a good spot in, but like, Cresselia, none of these mons feel particularly great, honestly. I think it's probably just Scrafty. Try to fake out the Azelf, Snarl, decrease its damage output. Something like with the MEN-etric. I think that's really your option here. It takes the Stealth Rock the best. Also, it decreases Entei damage output. Yep. I don't know what item this is. Is it possible it's like a Soul Fest or something? But I think this would be a good time to double protect. I don't want to get faked out or anything like that. Faked out, snarled. Any of that just sounds nasty to me. Yeah, we switching the Thunderous, and yeah, the Thunderous is just takes half from that Thunderbolt, and you're also almost guaranteed. You're slower than the MEN-etric, almost like unless it's some like very weirdly trained mons. I think you just had to double protect here. I think in a spot like this, you just had to like, okay, I need to preserve health for my mons. You're like running out of the luxury of switching and taking in shift damage, especially when you're not fast enough. I don't know if this Thunderous has anything to maybe try to mess with this with some prankster stuff, but can't Thunderwave it. Is Scrafty good? I think it's a good time to get this Scrafty out of here for the potential Dazzling Gleam. I think it's a good time I think now is the time to get the Cresselia in. So like, Volt Switch Thunder. You don't even have to Volt Switch. Thunderbolt Thunderous. Get in the Cresselia with the hard switch in. I think is. I don't know what that. What is Torment? I don't. These stop. This is not real. We do get the Volt Switch crit, which 37. That's like. Let's see. That. For Volt Switch to do 37 with Thunderbolt to 50. That's definitely a roll at best, and the crit mattered at worst. Either way, yeah, because Am I crazy for saying that? Thunderbolt's like 7 out of 9, so that's 77%. No. That's it was supposed to KO. It's not. Yeah, I'm stupid. And that's like 74%. Okay, it could have been a roll, but I don't think it was. Yeah, we are leaving the Scrafty in here. If Dazzling happens. Oh, and that's the Assault Vest. I should have known. I've thought about that. That's the Assault Vest on the Scrafty coming in clutch. And here comes some Dark Move, and this Azelf is gonna be gone. Yep. This is what you can do when you're ahead, man. You can just take trades. I'll lose most of my health on this mon to get a KO. That sounds good to me. Sure, like when you're behind like that, yeah, you got a KO and the other mon didn't. Just like it doesn't feel as good. But yeah, that's pretty bad here. You still have the Mega Lucario. Mega Lucario is in the back. And Landorus is low enough to like any priority move will kill it. So Mega Lucario still definitely a big threat here. But I'm worried about the Intimidate cycles, man. That's what I'm worried about. I think I send an Entei here. I don't want Lucario taking any damage here. I want to keep it safe. I think it's a good time to like extreme speed Scrafty. I also don't want to get intimidated. Oh, wait, both mons are dead. I'm so stupid. I'm stupid. Don't stop listening, man. Okay, so this is all damage you take is these are your last 2 mons. So you got to make sure that you got to play this as optimally as possible. 295, 236. All right, I feel like, let's see, good pass inner focus. Yeah, none of that stuff helped. Dude, if inner focus made you immune to Intimidate, it's going to be so different. But also these mons pointing would be very different, so that means nothing. Let's see. Both of your mons are faster than both of their mons, so you can just like hit both of them with like your strongest move. Maybe you want the Cresselia. Maybe you even just want to keep the Cresselia on the field. Just so it's harder to pivot. Is that silly of me of saying that? You do know the Scrafty is Assault Vest. So there's definitely that. So like, there's definitely a world where I probably just double. Do you just double Scrafty here? Dude, I don't know. I feel like the Intimidate starts to become like too big, where like he sacks Lando, and then there's 2 Intimidates off, and just like that feels bad. It's just like, but what can you do up against that? Like would it be better if the Cresselia was on the field, like the Scrafty died, and then the MEN-etrics comes in? Something comes in, you get bullet switch. I think it might be better, especially if you don't have protect on these mons. It's really hard to say. I don't know. It's a lot of, yeah, this Lando sack is happening. Oh no. Oh no. He didn't kill the Cresselia. Oh no. I mean, and that's even worse because it gets the attack off and then fans. It's like the worst case scenario. 24% is definitely meaningful chip. It may make it so that the next Thunderbolt will KO. All right. We have 2 half physical attack mons versus 2 mons that are pretty low. Scrafty is this is, you got to double protect here if you have it. There's no reason why not to. Don't want to get faked out here. Again, the being pressure instead of just being inner focus definitely could be biting him in the ass here if there is no protect. With that psychic doing so little, maybe it is Assault Vest. Does extreme speed have higher priority than what's it called? Is it the same priority as fake out? I don't remember. I'm not gonna pretend I remember. Oh no, and it's not. Yeah. Now overheat. Yep, overheat KOs. I don't know. The overheat is a very the Lucario is definitely in danger here. Overheat, very common coverage move on the MEN-etrics. Also potential weak to any fighting type moves. I just it's the pressure instead of inner focus, man. Why? Pressure is the worst ability of all time. And I don't think this Entei can do it. I think just like a Thunderbolt or two will just be enough at this point. It's not even enough. Yeah, dang, that was close. That was close. The game. Yeah, also, what does Torment do? But yeah, that might have just been. If you're inner focus, you might just win that game. It really might have just been that. Because if you're inner focus, you can like, Sacred Fire the Scrafty that would be enough to KO. Also, you definitely should have Sacred Fired because the faster, right? You're definitely faster. The heck. Anyways, close match, very close match. That is gonna eliminate the what's it called? The Dora Maxers, but that was I think that was a pretty well played game. But yeah, see you guys later. Bye bye.